Hello, good afternoon. It's Dr. Katrina Esau, the creator and founder of Whole Wives Healing Openly, Leaving Him Exalted. It is such an honor to be with you this week. We're going to continue our conversation. The theme is always going to be on healing and forgiveness. Because that's my story. That's what I can share on. That's what I'm anointed to do. I'm anointed for the broken. So it is an honor to be able to share with you all and to be able to be in a position to help other wives that have been impacted by infidelity. In case this is your first time tuning in, I share on healing and forgiveness. Particularly for wives that have been through infidelity and cheating, because I had my own bout 17 years ago. My husband and I had to walk through it. And so I'm very familiar with the pain of it. I'm familiar with, the low self-esteem, with the self-doubt. I'm familiar with just the pain of the trauma, feeling like somebody has literally ripped the carpet from underneath you. And so I want to help others get to the other side. I want to help you get to the place to where you can walk in your wealthy place, as I like to call it, where there's nothing missing, nothing broken. And so that that you can trust again, you can love again, you can be comfortable with who you are and whose you are. Thankfully, it's been 17 years ago now. My husband and I, we recently celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, and it's much better now than it was prior to the cheating and the infidelity. So I know that if God did it for me, He can do it for you. And so you can find out more information about me on my website, www.drkatrinaesau.com. It's scrolling there on the bottom of the screen. But today I want to talk to you just a little bit about low self-esteem, because it's another one of the symptoms of being cheated on. And so I remember years ago, this was like probably right before I found out that my husband had cheated. I was told by a woman of God, she was like, God's going to heal you from low self-esteem. And I was saying to myself, I don't know what she's talking about, because I don't have low self-esteem. I love me, da, 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 da. And so I didn't receive it. And so as time went on, and honestly, it probably was about maybe 15 or 16 years later that it hit me. I was reminded of what she spoke to me, that God was going to heal me from the low self-esteem. And I was like, wow. And so I just wanted to come on a little bit this week and just to kind of encourage you, because so many times we feel like we're confident, we know who we are, and I don't have a low self-esteem problem. But when you've been cheated on, I know I did. And I know a lot of the ladies that I talked to have been the same thing. But when you've been cheated on for some reason, and I don't know why, but we start to compare ourselves to that other woman. We start to question things. We start to question our value. We start to, question our judgment, our looks. I don't know, it wasn't no honor or no privilege. I don't know what it was, but I had the opportunity. I'll say that I had the opportunity to see I saw both of them, but one of the women, and I would just, the way that she looked, I don't know why I found myself comparing myself. And so you start wondering, well, if I did this, or if I did this better, or if, I lost 5 pounds, and you start doing this stuff and comparing yourself to other people, and it's not good and it's not healthy. Now, we don't go around communicating that's what we do, but it plays on our psyche when you have the opportunity to see the person, because now you have a visual. So you're comparing yourself to her, wondering, well, if I lose the weight, or if I do this, or if I look like this, or maybe he's attracted to a different type of person. You start going through all of that. And even if you haven't seen the woman, you wreck your brain trying to wonder what she looks like and what you could have done differently, and why did he choose her over you? Why did he violate the marriage? We go through all this stuff, and it hammers our self-esteem. It nails it. I mean, it beats against it. And you start walking. Some people go into depression. You start, not liking you, not liking what's looking back at the mirror. I know there was a long time where I didn't like what was looking back in the mirror. I didn't like it. I did not like it. And it was one day, one of my girlfriends, and she didn't know my situation at the time, but she gave me a mirror, and it says, I'm beautiful, or you're beautiful. And she didn't know it at the time that I was having a hard time looking at myself in the mirror. I didn't like what was looking back. And so there came a time in my healing process where I would literally sit and look in that mirror. I'd force myself to look in that mirror. I'd be crying, I'd be bawling. And I had to force myself to do it because I needed to love me. I can't love other people if I don't love myself. Even the word tell us to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you don't love you, it's kind of hard to love other people. And so I did that for I don't even know how long. It was a long time. It was a few years, until I could enjoy and love what was looking back at me, until I can love myself. That's how I learned so much about, self-care. And it's one of the 5 pillars that I teach the ladies is self-care, because we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves to our children, to our jobs, to our marriages. And when you've been cheated on, you put yourself even more so at the end of your list. You never have time for you. And so the next thing, you look up and you don't even know who you are. You don't know who you are, and you start to believe what other people say to you about you. You start to believe, the lies that maybe you heard, where you ain't gonna be nothing. And girl, I don't know why you surprised, all men cheating. People say stuff out of their own ignorance. And so if you don't know who you are, whose you are, and you're not confident in that, you start to believe the lie of the enemy. And so I had to get in the word and say, what does God say about me? Who does he say that I am? And you know what? God says I am beautiful. He created me and he said it was good. I'm the apple of his eye. I'm fearfully and wonderfully created in his perfect image. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm blessed in the city. I'm blessed in the field. I'm blessed going. I'm blessed coming. He loved me so much that he numbered every hair on my head. So when I'm looking at my comb or my brush and it's full of hair, he knows that's number 997. That's number 10,001. He knows exactly what number it is because he loved me just that much. So I wanted to see myself as God saw me. And I would ask God, Lord, help me to see me the way you do. Help me to love what's looking back at the mirror. Help me to love the skin I'm in. I've always loved my beautiful black skin. I'm sorry. I've always loved that. But I didn't like just me because I started comparing myself to other women. But now I love me. You can't keep me out the mirror. My mom, she always says, she's like, girl, you always taking a selfie. Every time I see you got that fold up in your face, because I love me. I'm beautiful. And if you too blind to see it, that's your problem, ain't mine. I love what's looking back at me, honey. And you ought to too. Because when God created you, he said it was good. He formed you and fashion you, and there is nothing ugly about you. Now, you could have an ugly attitude, and that makes a person ugly. I don't care how pretty you is on the outside. But God formed and fashioned you, and no person, no man, no woman can't take that away from you. So I encourage you to own your beauty. Know that you're beautiful, girl. If ain't nobody told you today, you are beautiful. You all that and the bag of chips. You marvelous. And start walking in it. Get in the word and see what God says about you. How eloquent he made you. How he curved, and made your breast and all that stuff. Honey, it's in there. It's in there. Solomon talks about how, the breast of the woman and how marvelous they are. We can get in the word and find our own soap opera. So I encourage the wives that I counsel and that I coach to know their beauty and to see themselves the way God sees them. Know who you are. Who are you listening to? Who told you that? Who told you was ugly? Who told you had a big nose or big lips? It fits your face. You love it. Like me, I take pictures because I work out now. And so I'm always showing my shoulders. I love my shoulders, y'all, because they got so much definition and stuff, but I love me. I love my beautiful eyes. I love my lips. I love my nose. I love me. I love everything about me. So look in the mirror. If you just starting out and you're at that place to where you don't like what's looking back at you, find something that you can stand in that mirror and say, well, I just love my eyelashes. Yeah, I said it, your eyelashes. Find something and speak life over yourself. Start appreciating you and the way God formed you and fashioned you, and know that you're beautiful. And the fact that your husband decided to cheat on you, it was just that, a decision. It had nothing to do with you, the way you look, the way you cook, the way you gave it to him in the bedroom or didn't give it to him. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Cheating is a choice. It's a decision that we make. And it does not discriminate. It don't care what color you are, what ethnicity you are. It don't care what community you came from. It don't care about your culture. It don't care whether you in the USA or you in Brazil. It don't discriminate. So know that you're beautiful. Speak life over yourself. Encourage yourself and start loving on you. You are worth it. Love on you. Pick your self-esteem up. Give your self-esteem a makeover because you deserve it. You sure enough do. You deserve it. Don't let cheating and infidelity be the end of you. There's more on the other side. There is more on the other side. Stop blaming yourself. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. It was the choice that he decided to make, and shame on him. So that's all I wanted to come on here today and just encourage you to know that you're beautiful, that you're formed and fashioned in the perfect image of God. You are joint heirs with Christ. And so God loves you. I love you. You can reach out to me. Again, the website is there, www.drkatrinaesau.com. You can go on the website and schedule a discovery call with me. I would love and be honored to be your coach to help you. I would love to have you as a student in the whole academy, Wives Healing Openly, Leaving Him Exalted, where you will learn the 5 pillars of restoration, which are forgiveness, rebuilding trust, walking in the newness of life, getting in vertical alignment, and then knowing who you are. Knowing who you are in Christ Jesus, self-care. And so you'll learn that. You'll learn about communication, anger. I shared that with you guys a couple of weeks ago. And so I encourage you, go on my website, learn more about me, Trendsetter Mentor Group. You can find me there on these vlogs. You can find me on any social media platform, all except Twitter. I'm on there as Dr. Katrina Esau. Go out to my YouTube channel, find me out there, follow, subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in, and don't hesitate to ask questions. If you don't feel comfortable putting questions in the comments, send me a DM or reach out to me. There's multiple ways, as I've shared. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. Know that you're beautiful.